what's next is the next chapter, the next boot, the next step where I want to be like, yo, when people ask me to perform, I'm coming with it. Like I'm gonna come with it. So, you just can't be playing with my name, and I don't like that. So.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back to the Promised Land podcast. Another great episode today. We got another interview. It's your boy Dylan, and our guest today is Curtis Beard. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, both of you guys. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yes,
we're going to get right into it. I just want to get to know you a little bit, how you got started in music, how you, what kind of your early memories of getting into music and doing music?
Early memories, definitely when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was just being around. My family's very musically inclined. So I was always just around just musical people, like musically inclined people. So I always gravitated towards music. And it's always just been a niche, a thing, like a secondary course in my life. And it's been beautiful since I was a kid. I started playing piano, learned how to play piano. Secondary instrument will be guitar for sure.
Gotcha.
And then you got to throw in the saxophone. Saxophone is sexy.
Saxophone.
I was on the saxophone,
That's a little jazz, yep.
Yeah, alternate saxophone. Shout out to my people out there. Play the saxophone, you guys know so.
That gets into your R&B roots as an artist.
Yes,
You're a little bit of R&B, a little bit of hip hop. Talk about how you blend those. I mean, they go hand in hand as genres completely, but
R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
Now it goes hand in hand. It wasn't always like that. I would say like back in like 2005, it was like strictly R&B, and then Drake mixed that up.
Yeah.
Chris Brown mixed that up. Usher, like have a little twang. Like now it's more, it's more of like a hot topic.
Yeah.
If you can mix those two together, then you're that artist.
Yeah.
But I mean, all due respects to the people who mainly just do hip hop and R&B, because that set the course for sure.
Yeah, and I guess since you lived through seeing that transition and as an artist, how did you go about like realizing that and wanting to blend those together for yourself, or not blending them beforehand?
No, it's funny that you say that, because I still feel like I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I got a little of my flow together, and I mean, that's what happens when you practice. Like, you're going to find something that sticks for sure. Like, the more work you put in, the better outcome is going to be for sure. And that's definitely been proven on the internet for sure. But I mean, if you really want to be honest, I'm still in the studio, like still trying to figure out like, how can I sound better? How can I sing this part better?
Yeah.
How can I want to rap, because I'm getting into rapping now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't always like that, but being an artist means like, you got to express yourself in different ways.
For sure.
So I'm learning how to do that. So I'm always learning. Yeah.
For sure. Also, when you were growing up, you mentioned a few, but who were some like biggest influences for you on either side, the hip hop side, the R&B side?
Yeah, for sure.
Guiding kind of your music.
Man, so it's a little bit of a mixed twang. Man, I gotta throw in my gospel artists, because I did listen to gospel as a kid. Definitely can't hide from that truth. So gotta say Kirk Franklin for sure. Fred Hammond.
Yeah.
He definitely inspired artists that I grew up on. I do say Chris Brown. Chris Brown's definitely someone I'm very inspired by. Michael Jackson, you already know. I mentioned Usher, so I gotta throw my love in for the OG Stevie Wonder.
Yep.
Man,
great artist, just
great
legends in music in general. It's not even about just hip hop or R&B specific, just legends. So I first saw you at the Screwface show.
Yeah.
You opened for Screwface. What are some other shows that you've done that you really stick out? I saw something about a K-Camp tour.
Yeah,
that looked like a lot of fun.
K-Camp. Shout out to K-Camp. K-Camp Cole. K-Camp. That's my dude. Like, he actually sat down and talked to me. So and it was a good conversation. I love K-Camp spirit. But to answer your question, my first first show that I opened up for was the Ying Yang Twins.
Really?
And I don't know if you guys even know who Ying Yang
Twins is. I know Ying Yang Twins.
It was way back. I think it was like 2007 or 8 or something like that. But
wow.
That's when I was like really like starting to like, figure out myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like to perform. So why not get paid for it? Why not actually do it? Let me test. Let me see what's up. First performance was Ying Yang Twins, and opened my eyes a lot for sure. Because Ying Yang Twins, I did not know artists don't do this, because this is my first show that I opened up to.
Yeah.
After they performed, they went down in the crowd and danced with the people.
Yeah.
And I was like, usually artists, they try to keep with that ego stage. And that pride. Is like, well, I don't care about that. But mostly that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like they just chilling. They just like, all right, I'm gonna just chill back and relax. But they were in the crowd, and I was like, oh, they lit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, they lit. I was like, okay, well, I mean, performing isn't that bad, especially if you're taking time to create something that people can resonate with.
Yeah.
When you're performing it, I don't know, it feels good. It feels good sharing your art that people can connect to.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm glad you talked about that, because that was the main thing you and me talked about it after that Screwface show. I was
yes, sir.
The stage presence, the choreography, the dancing, that really makes the crowd feel involved.
Yeah,
that really
just
makes.
Real quick, shout out to Riley and Nevaeh, my dancers. Shout out to you guys. So.
Yeah.
So that's
well,
I guess.
But yeah, as I was saying, that's such an important aspect that people forget about. They go on stage and they just do what they record in the studio, and then it's not a live entertainment show. Where did that kick in? Probably a little bit with the Ying Yang Twins, but seeing how important making a live show an entertainment thing more than just the music.
That's a good question. When did it kick in? I always felt like it's always been a part of me, honestly. My family, gotta give love to my family, because we really didn't have much growing up. My mom definitely taught us, you're not going to grow up with money, material things, technical things, most important is family. And, you got to live your life. You got to live your life. Do what you love to do for sure, but you got to live your life. You got to know who you are. You got to stay true to who you are and live your life.
Yeah.
So we grew up like that. We just didn't care what people thought, and did our thing. So when I was on stage, I just don't care. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I get it, when you're on stage, I get nervous. I'm not saying I don't. I'm in the back, praying. I'm always with my people. I'm like, all right, let's pray. Let's make sure we have a good show. But it's I know at the end of the night, people don't really care. They just want to have a good time. So when I'm on stage, I'm giving them a good time. I'm a dance. I'm going to sing.
Yeah.
I'm going to rap. I'm going to give you a performance. Not only because you paid for it, is because life is not as big as what people make it seem. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So I do my thing for sure. So it's always been part of me, I guess.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. With the dancing specifically, is that, you're a phenomenal dancer, man. Is that self-taught? Were you taught by somebody else?
No, I got it from my grandma.
Yeah,
I got it from my grandma for sure. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Rest in peace, my grandma. She was the dancer in the family for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So
awesome.
No one can move like her. And now I'm just speaking facts. Even as a kid, no one can move like her. So. I guess it just got passed down to me. I'm not saying I'm the only one who dances in my family, because I got my brother Ben, he dances, Josh, Charlie. I don't know about my older brother William. I don't know about that. Or Rachel. I don't know. But definitely it's just people who can dance and stuff like that. But I've picked up, the extra step. I wanted to take dance classes.
Yeah.
I wanted to teach dancers who also carries the same passion. And then I also have dancers on my team that I also want to share my knowledge to, that maybe they could pass it down to them. I took it the next step, but I love dancing for sure. So
yeah, that's awesome.
My grandma.
You mentioned your brother Charlie.
Yes.
When I was kind of just doing my light research, getting ready for this, I couldn't help but notice
light research.
He's got
no, he's good. Yeah.
Well, he's got a pretty big following. Is he your older brother?
No,
younger brother?
No, he is the baby, and he acts like the baby child for sure.
both being artists, like,
Yeah.
and any other artists in your family, how do you guys push each other? How do you guys work together or bounce creativity off of each other?
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good question. And that's also when we were kids, because when we were kids we were very competitive and stuff. But we had to shake out of that quick. So we ended up working very well together as soon as we started like figure out the respect, the borderlines of what we should and should not cross. Everybody got to figure that out when you work together. So once we figured out ground rules and stuff, like it was actually, because now we don't work together as much as I would like to, because all my brothers moved. So they're not all in Lincoln. But at the time when they were in Lincoln, we did skits, we did videos, we did dance videos.
That's awesome.
We did live performances, we did dance shows, we did talent shows. And it was, man, I want to say the best people I have worked with is my brothers.
Yeah, nothing, like you said,
no,
nothing's better
we
than
all
family.
think the same. We're very synchronized. We're very punctual when we need things to be like, okay, we got to get this done today.
Yeah.
Like, all joking to the side. Yeah, my brothers for sure.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
I want to get into a little bit of like your music making process.
Yeah.
How do you stay creative? Where do you find creativity at?
Yeah.
For your songs and your music?
Yeah, that's an important question. Because it's very easy to get sucked into social media nowadays. So you gotta like be important to what you like take in, the energy you take in.
Yeah.
So staying motivated, especially in 2023, you gotta find the right people to watch, carefully, because you never know who people are anymore. So but usually what I like to do is watch YouTubers.
Yeah.
And I'm a YouTuber. So I feel like YouTubers are very genuine people, especially with the vlogs and stuff. So I watch content creators who motivate people and have aspirations and have motivations behind the meaning of the vlog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Like honestly, DDG would be one. Ace Family, but they had some things going on, so I don't really watch them a lot anymore. But Dove Family, a lot of them are people that I watch that help me stay motivated, because they keep me on track, like what's the true meaning of life too. So I find creativity within that. So
yeah, for sure. And then taking all that and translating it to when you go to sit down and write your music. How's your writing process? Everybody's got a different writing process.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Kind of walk us through that.
I always for my writing process, I always tell artists, you always got to stay adventurous. You don't want to be still too long. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you got to, when you're writing, I don't know, people have ghostwriters. I write all my music. Yeah. All my music. Every song that I have, I wrote. Yep. In order to do that, like to find things to talk about, you got to stay adventurous. You got to, be on different paths sometimes. You got to figure out like, different questions to different answers. I mean, different answers to different questions. Yeah. And you gotta stay punctual about it too. And what usually helps me is finding different, studying different people, like other people. Yeah. I like to pick brains. So when I see somebody, when I talk to you, I'll like ask you some questions, like, try to understand your story too, and because, everybody has different stories. So I always try to like understand that part and try to match it with mine. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I try to get creative with some things. Like I write other people's stories too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
putting stories on paper. That's what writing's all about. That's what music's all about.
My boy Brian Martinez, shout out to my boy Brian. He doesn't like the press, so this is funny. So okay. He does my beats and stuff, but he had like a little, I'm sorry, bro, but he had a little heartbreak, with the girl. And so I wrote about it. Yeah. So I took his like pain and I was like, hey, let me do something with it. And then when I wrote it, it made him feel better. Like, that's what I like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he listened to me. He's like, oh, I like that. He's like, oh, okay. For sure. Like, but that's what I like to do.
Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes.
And everybody got different niche. But, like, I don't know, like, going back to your question, like, what helps you write? Yeah. It's just everything in general that has a story. You know, you could break things down in simple ways with a story.
For sure.
It don't got to be complicated, but yeah.
For sure. You mentioned your YouTube. I want to talk about that a little bit. That seems like one of your biggest things now.
Yeah.
You got 25.7 thousand subs on YouTube.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a great feat within itself.
We come a long ways, man.
I see you do a lot of reviews, a lot of watching music videos, watching whatever. Your most recent was Easy Mill, behind the scenes in New York City.
Yes, sir.
I saw that. Easy Mill's a great artist.
Yes, sir. Now, I just dropped one before I came here.
Oh, really?
So now it's Morissette.
Perfect.
Shout out to my girl Morissette. Yeah.
But then you also do remixes.
Yes.
I noticed a lot of remixes. My question is how do you go about choosing songs you want to remix? Like, is it certain beats? Is it people you idolize that you like to listen to? Like, how does that process go?
That's funny. I feel like it's just more of like what I like what I'm more drawn into.
Yeah.
I like to make videos and content for the public. Yeah. But sometimes I like to do things for myself too.
Yeah.
Because I got to remember like why I started to do it to begin with. Like this is what I love to do, and I always got to remain who I am as well too. Like I know like content can get to your heads, comments and views and stuff, but I got to step away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to make sure I do things I love to do. So yeah, I'll do covers that I like.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll do request covers, but I always mention it sometimes, like, so I can give people credit too, like who do tune in, because I love everyone who tunes in for sure. And that's definitely important.
Yeah,
so,
and that's how you grow a following.
And that's how you
big.
grow. Yeah. And you got to do it genuinely too. Like I don't like the fakeness and stuff. Like when I see people on the side, they're like, "Oh, I'll subscribe." I'm like, you can subscribe, but like, it don't really matter to me. Like if you're like just like if you don't like the video, that's fine. Then just don't subscribe. Like I just don't want that. Like I want my channel to be pure.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be full of bots, bro. Like
So we talked about writing within your own personal music, your original music. Now, sometimes I know it can get difficult to write over beats or songs that you might know the lyrics to already, or you're like, oh, but he says this. Like, how do you go about that and really making it your own, taking that and making it your own, while sticking to maybe what the song represented to begin with?
Yeah. I mean, I usually keep the chorus, so the chorus usually sticks sometimes. I don't really change too much when it comes to a cover or a remix.
Gotcha.
But the main verse, that is tricky. I'll be honest. Sometimes you want to be like, say the line like everybody says it.
Everybody says it.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. That's the part about being an artist. You got to challenge yourself. So. I take up on those challenge, and thank you, Jesus. Some of them, succeed. Some of them flopped.
Yeah.
Like I took W's and I took L's. So don't get it twisted. Like sometimes I wasn't always, on the upscale of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes YouTube is like, no, CB, chill.
And
like,
I mean,
chill.
The failures are what makes you grow, and what everybody hears it.
Absolutely.
But it's so true what those, even the low times can bring and help get to the great times.
I think both are beneficial.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
the L's suck for sure, but I think it's just as beneficial as the W's for sure.
Yeah. What recommendations, what kind of advice maybe would you give to somebody that wants to start getting into this game, start making music, maybe even start YouTube? And what's like some of the things you've learned that you would tell other people?
Just do it now. Just do it now. Do it now. The longer you wait, the longer, you're just going to hold your own talent. And you got to water the seed. You got to water the seed while you still can. People are not promised tomorrow. I learned that. Unfortunately, recently, like, everybody knows that, but it just hits harder. Like, time is not set in stone. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to do something that you love to do it now.
Yeah.
And if you're confused, if you're lost, you go to YouTube, go to Google. Like, people have answers. Like, it's 2023. Like, social media is very strong, and you can utilize it. Utilize it right now. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to edit videos. You don't have to pop off and have like the highest views. You don't have to be any of that. You can be anything you want, but whatever you want to do not procrastinate. Just do it now.
Yeah,
that's my word.
For sure.
Advice for sure.
Looking back, I mean, you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
You said your first show was with the Ying Yang Twins in like 2007.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing this a long time. What are some of the, if you were to look back at all of it, where you are now, like what are some of those highlights that you just never forget about that always kind of just stick in your head and make you appreciate what you've been doing and where it's taken you?
Honestly, it would have to be some of those memories that I did share with you. Him jumping off the stage. I'll never forget that memory. That was pretty cool. Excuse me. K-Camp would have to be another one. Snow the Product though. The reason why I will never forget that memory though is because Snow the Product was lit. Now when I say lit, now I know people say lit. Oh, she's lit. No, she was lit.
You're talking was it at the Royal Grove?
No, is that
or around here or something?
No, it wasn't at the Grove. It was at Bourbon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that show. I unfortunately missed out on it.
No,
I had something else, but no, Snow is crazy.
No, for sure.
She can rap her ass off.
Shout out to Snow though, but I mean when you came to Lincoln, there was whole body people on the stage. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I'm only sure. I saw the clips and stuff from after.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I mean, shout out to Snow because even after all that, man, she still took a picture with me. I have the picture on my Instagram. Like she's chill. Like she was cool. She went on a party bus afterwards, I think.
Really?
So no, yeah, she still got more lit. Like shout out to her.
That's awesome. Sure. That's fucking awesome.
For sure. But yeah, that's another memory I probably will never forget either. So
yeah. So we're you mentioned, or I saw on your TikTok that you have a album dropping soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any details on that or
information? I can give some. I just finally got the okay to talk about it. So that's why I was happy to come on here too. So I was like, yeah, I can talk about it. But no, it's called Common Courtesy. I've been talking about it for those that have been my supporters for a minute. You guys already know Common Courtesy have been into play. So now it's finally coming. It'll be when is this releasing? The 26th?
26th.
Okay, so I'm gonna announce it on my birthday, so I'll be on the 16th. So it'll be way after that. So yeah. It will be dropping in 2024. So I want to start off the year right.
Okay.
It's gonna be coming with 13 songs.
13.
Because I will be turning 31, so it's just 31 backwards.
Yep.
So I'll come with 13 songs. The only thing I'm waiting for, I don't have an official date. Because I'm waiting on a couple features.
Gotcha.
But they're waiting on their
long process.
It's a process, but I mean, hopefully I get that in a week, maybe less. Hopefully not longer than a week, so I can have a date set in stone. But you guys will be hearing from me for Common Courtesy, and it is coming. I got the songs on lock. It's
perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited for this for sure.
Tell us about the process of making the record for you on your end of it, making your verses, structuring it, putting the songs together. What is it for you? What is it? Yeah,
I'm not gonna say too much because I want you guys to, definitely be surprised.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's a lot of influence with my life in general. As a whole, as a man just growing up, my kids inspired me in a couple songs. So you guys will be hearing some songs. And Rylan, shout out to my girl Rylan. That's my baby. That's my daughter. She's on one of the songs, so she's featured on one of the songs. I will share that. But it's a lot of just getting connected into some stories I've been wanting to share.
Yeah.
Awesome. And just sharing a little bit of myself to the world that I haven't shared before. And I'm excited for that. A little nervous, but I'm excited too. It's always nervous sharing a little bit about yourself, to just people and strangers. There's people who's going to be tuning in to my music for the first time, and I don't want them to be like, but I mean, I'm gonna come with it. I'm gonna be myself, 100% myself, and that's what I need to do. And yeah, I'll say this. The features are good. The features are good.
Awesome.
Now, if a couple will get back to me, then I'll say the features are going to be you guys. But I mean, I don't want to say too much.
Well, I'm excited to hear it, man, yes, and I'm sure everybody else will be.
Yes,
you mentioned nerves now. You mentioned it before. Still, when you go on stage,
yep.
I'm sure it was nerve-wracking the first time you put out your first YouTube video.
Yes.
How do you navigate that? It's something people deal with every day, but people still struggle with getting past those nerves, going for what they want. How have you found success in getting past that?
I'm gonna be honest. I get nervous watching my first YouTube video. I sounded like an idiot. I sounded so dumb. Oh my god! And I look at it now, and I'm like, dang, what? Like it's cringe. It's so cringe. Okay. But I mean, I'm not suggesting you watch it, but that's that. Every time I look at the YouTube video, I'm like, see, I guess I wasn't. I mean, no, I was nervous, but I was more like, I don't know. I drank coffee, so I was ready.
Yeah,
I was ready. I'll be honest. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's I don't know.
How do you find when you like going on stage, like getting ready? Again, like the nerves come. I mean,
no, for sure.
Starting this, I only started this 2 weeks ago. My first one, I was like, I'm nervous about this. Oh, it's always nervous putting something out into the public, but like, how do you view it about just being like, okay, I'm gonna do it because this is what I want?
Again, going back to what my mom said, just live your life. Just never forget yourself. Like at the end of the night, people don't really care.
For sure.
Like people just want to have a good time. So that's what always brings me back, like to my resonating moments. That's just so real to me. Like morals and values is important to me. So my mom and dad, I don't know, man, like they just implanted a lot of just wisdom in my head, just to the point where it's just like not a lot of things can shake me up unless it's like more of like a realistic life term, like life thing.
For
like
sure.
then like there's a death and I'm like, dang, But like going on stage presenting your art, that is nervous for sure. I can't lie. But like when you get on stage, you start to realize people just don't care.
Yeah.
People just want to have a good time. And I see that in a lot of people's eyes. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's important.
So what's next besides the album? Obviously, we'll find out about that, and I'm excited to listen. What's next for Curtis Beard? Where he's going?
Yes. So 2024 is full of surprises. I don't want to say too much. There's some things that are a surprise, but I will be performing more.
Okay.
As of right now, since I did put out my album, I am focusing a lot on my album right now.
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on new choreo for new performance routines and stuff like that. That takes a lot of work.
I'm sure.
I've been in the dance studio figuring out some stuff. So I mean, I don't know. Right as of right now, I'm just getting what's next is the next chapter. Yeah. The next boot, the next step where I want to be like, yo, when people ask me to perform, I'm coming with it. Like I'm gonna come with it. So, you just can't be playing with my name, and I don't like that. So
for sure,
I'm very thrilled about that too. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it, man. I'm glad we got to come on here and talk, and I hope we stay connected.
Hold on, just real quick. Yeah. Hold on, let me ask. Just real. I got a couple questions.
Okay.
So, you also said you just been doing this a couple weeks. So
yeah.
How did you get this started? Like, what was your ambition?
Well,
I remember you talking to me. So
yeah. Well, it really started with I've just been a fan of music, so I go to concerts a lot. Whatever. I started meeting a bunch of people, and I really want to get into like the music business side. I study business right now, so that's kind of where I'm heading. But really something I just really loved is the connection. I love getting to know people. I love doing this. I've always loved that, meet new people, meet new friends. And now I've found that in a new space. Yeah. So I've been bouncing this idea for a while.
Yeah.
Asking some of my friends to do it with me. Like, and they frankly, it was, okay, you set it up.
Yeah.
And tell me when I need to be there.
Word.
And I was like, man, I'm not going to do all the work just for you to get some credit. So finally, I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to go do it myself. So, and I really preach on that a lot. Anybody that knows me, going out and doing it yourself, it takes a lot to wait on people. It takes time out of your day. Time is precious, and nobody's going to have your back more than yourself.
Yes,
so,
yes,
I'm my number one person in my corner when it comes to anything I do. So,
and then how did he get mixed involved?
So
he's just chilling.
Oh well, frankly, I just needed somebody to control the cameras and do the editing. And
does that mic work?
Yeah, when we turn it on.
Yeah, so you
we'll
guys
get him involved
if you want. Yo, like, how did you?
So we've known each other
Yeah.
throughout high school and grade school.
Because I don't remember seeing him. I don't think I met you at the.
No, but I wasn't there.
But because I looked through his Instagram too, and he meets a lot of artists. I don't see you in the pictures or anything. Did you just start doing this together?
So yeah, we've known each other for a long time. We grew up in the same town, and now we're both here for college. And this is his field, the editing, the broadcasting, the camera work. And I said, listen, I got something I want to pursue. You like doing this stuff. We both got skills. We both got stuff to offer. I was like, nobody expects no money from anybody. Nobody expects no so I was just like, and he was really the only one that believed in it. Yeah. He was willing to put in the work. He was willing to do all that kind of stuff. So I was like, man, if you want to do this with me, if you got time, let's see where this goes.
I was always like, I've always wanted to do podcasts, but like I don't talk especially with myself. Like I can't sit here and talk for an hour about no matter what it is. But I always like running cameras and hopping into like editing studios and doing that. So once he said that, I was totally down. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, everybody has different niche too. So that's always important, different weaknesses, and, you just build each other up.
Yeah. And this man, I mean, as long as we stay friends, he's going to, I've been wanting him to do it. I'm like, man, because a little bit, like, I want to make music a little bit too. Yeah. So it's just like balancing everything. But I said first time.
You want to make music? What?
Yeah.
I'll hop on the album.
It's picking it. It's hard to pick and choose what I want to pursue more. Because I got the business side. I have the business knowledge that I get from school. So I kind of went that direction more. I have no music background. So it's like a lot of teaching myself production wise. I've always written, and that's like writing down stuff. But it's like getting it onto the mic, getting it. So
take your time with that though too.
Yeah, for sure. And but I always told him, I was like, man, you're filming my first music video.
He be doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do that?
I mean, I film stuff like I'm a sports media major, so I come in film like
he just
football games,
full packages like
football games, like all that stuff. So when he told me that, I was like, I mean, can't be like too much different. I mean, it's gonna be different, but
that's actually really cool.
Too much.
Yeah, how long you been doing that?
I started when I started here, which was the fall 2021. I always knew I always loved sports, and I was like, I just want to do something around that. So when I saw this major, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I think it's important to note too, most of this stuff he's good at was self-taught and was before we got to college.
That's definitely something people need to know for sure. What are you talking about?
It's like, and when I tell you he just went full go on it.
Yes, sir.
I was like, hey, back when it was still an idea, even this, I was like, hey, thinking about starting a podcast, will you want to work together? Back when it was still an idea, he comes back, he's like, I made your logo already.
Oh,
and I was like, okay.
No, for sure.
I was like, we haven't even filmed an episode yet, but okay. And I mean,
that's actually pretty cool.
It's just great. He's a jack of all trades.
Well, I mean,
love having him around.
Yeah, no, on behalf of you guys inviting me, still, congratulations on you two.
I appreciate that, man.
The podcast for sure. And thanks for inviting me. Yeah, much respect though.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anything else from you that you want to put out there, or?
Yeah, I do got to say this, only because I promised my Discord. But shout out to all my mods on my Discord. Shout out to KTG, Alex, Fluffy, Chloe, Gabe. I don't want to miss anybody out, and also that's Justin. Awesome. I guess Justin, but.
All right, man.
No, they're the engine to my car for sure.
Awesome.
My Discord, they support me from day one.
That's really cool.
If you really want to know about me, go to the Discord. I'm just saying, they got everything in there.
And sometimes you're like, how did these guys find this?
Every time they got video. I mean, I ain't gonna say too much, but if you want to know about me, go to my Discord for sure.
Well, where can people find you?
Social media or music? I mean, social media.
Ads?
Yeah, Curtis Beard, T Curtis Beard, Spotify, Curtis Beard, Apple Music, Curtis Beard, all of it.
Perfect. And your YouTube, Curtis Beard?
Yeah, Curtis Beard, YouTube. Besides Facebook.
Gotcha.
Facebook.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for joining the Promised Land podcast. See you next time. See you next week. Have a good one.